everyone, it's Vesper Starov here with another video. So I'm going to be talking about polytheism and why do we tend to work with multiple spirits, deities, demons, angels, what have you. There's a lot of them and you can work with as many as you want. And don't listen to anyone who says that you're working with too many or you're collecting them like Pokemon. Because as long as you're respectful, you can work with as many as you want. But that being said, please be mindful of what you can handle, because it can be stressful if you're working with or worshiping a lot of spirits. So that is something to keep in mind. But to put it simply, polytheism is right in the word, polytheism. Poly meaning multiple. So because this belief system is simply the belief in many, many gods and such, why wouldn't you want to work with or worship them? I bring up this topic because I've seen drama and stuff on Witch Talk where people will complain about someone else, even though it's none of their business. They'll complain about other people who might have like lots and lots of altars for many different spirits. And yeah, it can be a lot. I have worked with many spirits as well. But the thing to remember is sometimes they come and go, and sometimes it's not like a constant working relationship. I have a little shelving unit over there that me and my friend jokingly refer to as the apartments, because each little cubby is for a different spirit. But it's more of a little spot to honor said spirit, so it's more of like a shrine. And I don't actively work with every single spirit in those spots, but if I do need their help with something, they are there that I can reach out to them, and I already have a connection with them. That being said, my three main patrons, because another thing to clarify is, not every spirit you work with will be your patron, and if you make a spirit your patron, that is a more permanent connection. So they're going to be around you for pretty much your entire life, unless you break the patronage, but that can also be kind of a difficult thing to do. So unless you're like for sure wanting to be with the spirit for pretty much the entirety of your life and practice, then you got a lot of thinking about to do. And also, you shouldn't feel like you have to constantly, every day, work with these spirits and interact with them. I think that's what confuses a lot of people when you have so many spirits. You're not connecting with each and every one of them every single day, and they will understand, because at the end of the day, they want you to be in the best mental health, and sometimes you just need to take a step back and take a break, which is something I do frequently, because being in the spiritual mindset so often can really just send you off the deep end. And so I watch out for that, and I can feel when I'm kind of getting a little burnt out. So I'll take a little step back, though not like completely permanently, because Lucifer is just always kind of around. But as I was saying earlier before I went off on that tangent, my three main patrons are Lucifer, Asmodeus, and Belial. And so I will mostly, in day-to-day, I will interact with Lucifer and Asmodeus. And then Belial is one who prefers to be more in the background, but he's always kind of there as well as a threat. So, why have multiple patrons and work with multiple spirits? Well, especially with the main three I work with, they are each kind of in control of a different aspect of my life. So with Lucifer, who is my first patron, he kind of oversees my mundane life and makes sure I'm taking care of myself and not going off the deep end with things. And he is also there just to be a constant companion and someone, essentially a shoulder for me to cry on. Meanwhile, Asmodeus, my second patron, and one of the biggest influences in my life, not to discredit Lucifer, but there is a certain kind of bond I do have with Asmodeus. I bond with each spirit I work with, but in their own different ways. So don't get me wrong with that, because I love each of them so dearly. But Asmodeus has kind of control of my spiritual stuff. So whenever I want to do things spiritually, so like witchcraft, or I want to branch out with different psychic things or what have you, or reaching out to new spirits, a lot of the times I will go to Asmodeus for those things and see what he thinks about them. And then Belial is the patron of my business side. So essentially, I connect with Belial. He helps me with working towards my writing career. And since connecting with him, I have found my writing has massively improved, and I've actually made a lot of steps to further this career, and I'm feeling actually very confident that I can be a successful writer by just working with him on this. However, he isn't so much about the marketing side of things, so he pushed me into working with King Paimon, who has been helping me decide like certain dates that I should make certain posts and all that stuff. So as you can see, spirits, especially like demons, have their own specialties that they can help you with, but sometimes they're not so much about other things. So Belial, huge spirit on like business and that kind of things. But with the marketing aspect and spreading your reach, he's more of the guy behind the scenes. He doesn't really want to do the legwork, so that's why he put me into contact with King Paimon, who is a spirit that's more about getting out there, and you know, he's a very bright and amazing spirit to work with. And so that's kind of why people would work with multiple spirits. And then you have other pagans that are like the Hellenic pagans who work with the Greek gods, and so it's actually just in their religion to worship or even work with like multiple gods from that pantheon. So like Zeus, Hera, Athena, Hermes, you know, all those. They could work with any combination that they want. And this is highly debated about certain spirits like not being able to get along, or ones that actually do. And while I can't speak for the Greek gods, I will say most angels and demons do actually get along with one another. Like Michael and Lucifer, you can work with both of them, and they're actually pretty chill with each other, even though Lucifer is a bit stressful for poor Michael. But there are also ones that do seem to have some truth about not being able to get along, because many practitioners will say and have the same similar experiences that Archangel Raphael and Asmodeus absolutely hate each other and cannot really be around each other, and I do find that that is also true. So, you know, you just gotta kind of use your own experiences with these kind of things, though. See which ones kind of work and then don't. So, yeah, that's just kind of my view on the topic. I just wanted to talk about this because I have seen a lot of confusion and disagreements happening in like especially with like newer pagans. So I just wanted to make this to kind of explain that. So, yeah, if you have any further questions or video ideas that you would like to see me talk about involving demons or certain pagan practices, leave a comment and I will get to that. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Oh, boosh.